Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. We're starting here with Sony giving a name to the official fight stick that they announced not that long ago. Being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle during the June 2025 State of Play, Sony revealed an official PS5 fight stick codenamed Project Defiant. Today, the company revealed the official name of the accessory, as well as some additional features that fighting game enthusiasts can expect. Sony revealed the name of its PS5 fight stick is Flex Strike during EVO 2025 in Las Vegas from August 1st to 3rd. Fighting game players can see the accessory and sling carry case for themselves at the Fight Stick Museum and Arc System Works booth. It should be noted that the product will only be on display and that the product is still subject to change. The Flex Strike is the first fighting stick designed by Sony. It will be compatible with PS5 and PC with a wired connection or a wireless connection with PlayStation Link. It also features mechanical switch buttons and toolless swappable restrictor gates. Specifically, players can choose between a square, circle, or octagon restrictor gate, which are housed in the PS5 Flight Stick's built-in storage compartment. It also includes a PS Link USB adapter, USB-C cable, and sling carry case. Additional features noted are simultaneous PlayStation Link audio, dual Flex Strike wireless fight stick connections, durable and ergonomic design, DualSense controller connectivity, and adjustable controls and DualSense inputs. It's worth noting that this fight stick is set to release sometime in 2026. There is no specific date or pricing yet. So there you go. For anybody who's interested in this new accessory from PlayStation, these are all the details, and again, it's worth noting that Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls will be playable for the first time at EVO. Moving on to the next topic, this is a major piece of news that came out over the weekend, and we have an original story here from Push Square that says, is the age of console exclusivity truly coming to an end? Perhaps not for Nintendo, but Sony is searching for an executive to lead its rapidly evolving multi-platform strategy. A new job opening at its head office in San Mateo is looking for a director to lead PlayStation's exploration of systems beyond PS5. The post explicitly states that successful candidates will be responsible for optimizing title profitability across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation, including, quote, Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile, end quote. Here's the full description. Reporting to the Vice President, Commercial Management as Senior Director of Multi-Platform and Account Management, you will play a critical leadership role in shaping and executing the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios software titles across all digital platforms beyond PlayStation hardware, including Steam, Epic Games Store, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. This role is accountable for optimizing title profitability, ensuring cross-functional alignment, and leading a high-performing team focused on multi-platform expansion, mid-range commercial planning, and platform partner management. It later adds that key responsibilities will include overseeing the mid-range commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios titles across all non-PlayStation platforms, driving long-term revenue growth and audience reach. The role will also involve maintaining relationships with rival platform holders, including Xbox and Nintendo, to ensure strong collaboration, promotional effectiveness, and performance optimization. Now, there is a few things to point out here. Push Square says, in a recent interview, PlayStation Studios head Herman Hulst said that the manufacturer needs to be, quote, really thoughtful about bringing our franchises off console, end quote, to avoid detracting from its own ecosystem. And we have another update from an insider. This is being reported again by Push Square, saying the extremely well-connected Shinobi 602 has said PS5 fans are, quote, really getting carried away, end quote, with a job listing which implied Sony may be planning to bring more of its first-party games to Xbox and Switch. Across multiple posts, the industry insider suggested Sony is not looking to change its tried and trusted strategy and is simply exploring the idea of bringing more of its live service success stories to different devices. He also insinuated you may see other experimental releases like LEGO Horizon Adventure on the Switch where it makes sense. So, yeah, this is something that I definitely wanted to cover because, yeah, people are reading this any way they want. People are reading this assuming that, well, you know, every single PlayStation game is now multi-platform, going to Xbox, going to Switch. Other people are reading it as, you know, only live service games are going multi-platform and experimental titles. I think it is worth noting that Sony did literally just tell their shareholders that, yeah, they're going to be thoughtful about which games they're going to pick and choose. Could their strategy have shifted in, the last week or two, and they just decided, hey, we're going to just completely go in a different direction? Yeah, they changed their strategy, somewhat frequently, at least when we're looking at it holistically over the course of the, last 4 or 5 years of this generation. They have changed their strategy numerous times. But yeah, I mean, there's no denying that this job listing makes it clear that Sony is pursuing more multi-platform development. The one thing I do want to highlight here that I think is pretty relevant is that this isn't just for one position, right? Or, one individual. This is an entirely new team that they're forming. I think there is relevance to that. This is not a small undertaking from Sony. It's something I would say that is ultimately going to be quite significant. Now, do I think that this means that games like Wolverine and games like, future games like Spider-Man 3 and whatnot, and maybe if we eventually get The Last of Us Part 3, stuff like that, do I think that that means they're going to be day one on, PC and even platforms like Xbox and Switch? I don't think so. But at this point in time, I've tried to tell people when it comes to Sony and specifically exclusivity, expect anything, right? I think that that's just the theme. People didn't want to believe back in 2019 and 2020 that Sony was going to be going all in with PC at that time. And, it took a couple of years, and look at where we are. So don't assume to know exactly where this is headed. But, it is worth noting that we have somebody like Shinobi602, who is a well-respected insider, saying, yeah, people are definitely jumping the gun with this. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next topic here, which is a sales update on the Horizon series, as well as Sony suing Tencent over a Horizon clone. Starting with Sony suing Tencent, it says here, being reported by Push Square, there's paying homage, and then there's just outright copying. It looks like Sony's legal team think that Light of Motorem, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, has crossed the line, and it's suing Chinese giant Tencent over the slavish Horizon clone. According to Reuters, the platform holder filed a lawsuit against the ripoff on July 25th, citing copyright and trademark infringement. Its ultimate goal is to prevent the game from releasing. Tencent's copying of Horizon is so blatant that the public has described it as, quote, crazy, insane, and shameless, end quote, the lawsuit claims. Even wilder is the revelation from GameSpot that Tencent purportedly approached Sony with a pitch to license the Horizon IP, which the platform holder promptly denied. The lawsuit argues that Tencent is tricking customers into believing that this game is the next official Horizon game, causing irreparable injury. The firm's demanding $150,000 in damages and wants access to all of Light of Motorem's materials so it can destroy them.
Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me? Yeah, this is something that is maybe not that surprising, because I do remember seeing this trailer. I think it released last year, either early this year or late last year. And yeah, man, I mean, it is about as big of a ripoff as you can get, right? It literally just looks like they tried to copy Horizon note for note. But something interesting we did learn from this is how many copies Horizon has sold. It says here, as part of Sony's legal assault on Tencent's ripoff for Horizon, the companies revealed that their Horizon franchise has topped 38 million units worldwide. We last got word of Guerrilla Series' commercial performance in April of 2023, when the platform holder confirmed that the franchise had sold roughly 32.7 million units. This updated number means it's added another 5 million units to its tally in the 2 years since. So, yeah, for people wondering why Sony cares so much about Horizon, it's because, I mean, it's approaching 40 million units sold in total, and that's definitely nothing to scoff at. It's particularly interesting to me that they've managed to sell 5 million more units across the Horizon franchise in the last 2 years. I would assume Sony would probably give an official update when they hit that 40 million. But yeah, for those who are wondering, Gran Turismo is sitting at number 1 with 90 million units sold, God of War over 66 million units, Spider-Man with over 50 million units, and The Last of Us sitting at around 37 million units. So yeah, Horizon's definitely up there as one of Sony's most successful IPs. But moving on to the next topic, we have an update on the God of War TV series. We're learning new official information. Season 1 is going to be 10 episodes, and 2 seasons have already been greenlit. The scripts are still being written. It will adapt the Norse-era games and focus on Kratos and Atreus. The show's tone will, quote, emulate the tone of the game. Game director Cory Barlog is actively involved, and filming may begin in 2026 at the earliest. So, yeah, this is one of those shows that Sony has greenlit that I'm very skeptical of. I mean, I'm rooting for it. I want it to be great. I'm not sure how they're going to pull it off. I do think that going with the Kratos and Atreus journey is a good thing, and I think it's great that Cory is going to be directly involved. They're going to emulate the tone of the game. This is all great news. Honestly, I'm just really wondering, like, how is this going to look? Who are you going to get to play Kratos, man? I feel like there's so much riding on that. They have to nail it. They have to get it just right. And if they don't, it can end up being kind of... I think it can end up kind of coming off as silly if they don't get it just right. But there you go. Those are official details regarding the God of War TV series. It seems like this is a show that probably won't come out till sometime in 2027, maybe even 2028, if they're not even going to begin filming until sometime next year. But I'm sure we'll get more information on casting and stuff like that not too long from now. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.